in the CAT exam, and also understanding how life is at Ahmedabad. Today we bring to you a very important session wherein I'll deep dive into the academic course structure at IIM Ahmedabad and the second year spans out. What are the kinds of courses which are available in the first year and the second year, and which are the popular ones? And I think this is very important for all those MP aspirants to understand what kind of subjects are offered at the premier B schools, and also understand, where seems like and is headed towards. So the session is very important today, and I would urge. Yes, so I'll now like to take ahead, and make you understand about the academic coursework at IIM-A. First, I'll be taking the case of PGP1, or more colloquially or easier known as the first year of the MBA program. And then I'll take you through how the second year of the MBA program works at IIM Ahmedabad. So the first year is majorly a core curriculum, wherein students do not get any option to choose their subjects, and the entire gamut of subject is compulsory to attend. So the first year is divided into three terms: term one, term two, and term three. And towards the end of term three, we options that also just for two subjects to choose from. One is in the field of operations management, second in the field of human resource management. And there are uh, per field we get two options to choose from. So like as you can see on the screen as well, on the right bottom corner you can see the word flexi core courses written, and students get an option to choose in the field of operations management either minor case of elective in the first year, but majorly the first year is entirely compulsory course driven, and we have subjects ranging from finance, accounting, human resource management, organizational behavior, then also law is there as a field, then economics, of course, operations man, and there's also a huge focus on written analysis and communication, and this is a very important course at IIM Ahmedabad, and I think one of the most dreaded as well for students, because this course tests you on your written ability and communication skills. So in this course we get case studies on which we have to solve them in the whole analytical piece on it. So that's also one course which is very important, very popular as well. And then there are courses on organizational behavior such as interpersonal group processes, etc. Then there are also courses on information technology, and there's also a focus on ethics and philosophy in the first year of the curriculum. And we have a specific course known as personal and corporate ethics, wherein ethics and philosophy are blended into the form of business students. And mind you, as you all must be also knowing, but I'll still reiterate here that IIM Ahmedabad's academic curriculum is entirely case driven. So whatever subject you study, it will be it will be mostly through a case study as only, which are taken directly from even either Harvard Business School's case center, or IIM Ahmedabad's case center as well. So these are the two primary sources which IIM Ahmedabad's curriculum goes on that. And then also during your internship, we also have a course known as workshop on interviews and presentations, wherein gist of it is given, how to prepare for the interviews, how to present yourself, and how to be more presentable in the interviews. So that helps also a bit, for your interview preparation. Then there's also a huge focus on public policy in the academic coursework, and IIM Ahmedabad has the Jindal School of Public Policy in place, and hence has been offering a lot of public policy courses, which are a treat to attend. And like personally, I really like public policy courses at IIM-A during my time, and I made it a point to attend all of them. Then there are also courses on consulting and strategy, such as strategic management, and a lot of it is also driven through research. So there's a separate course on business research methods, wherein various methodologies, etc., are taught as how can an effective research take place. So that's one. Then obviously marketing courses are there, and they're equally spread throughout the whole three terms in the form of marketing one, marketing two, and marketing three. And it's again compulsory for all to attend. So, more or less, the first year consists holistically of all the subjects from diverse areas. And, as a student, you'll get to experience all the subjects irrespective of your liking or disliking. And, I think, especially for non engineers, since I was also a non engineer, I got to attend courses which I had never heard about before or never, never was taught, before in my life. So even though they were challenged, the beauty of it is that, you get to understand concepts which will come very handy in your corporate career or later on in your professional lives as well. So, that is why I think the whole first year consists of subjects which are compulsory and includes subjects from diverse fields, from all the fields, which are essential to you for the students and later on the professionals to know in their career. And you also have courses on environment and sustainability in the form of business environments and society. And there are a lot of I still remember that in this course we were taught in detail about how the pollution in the northern in itself is very different, very unique, and very intellectually stimulating. And I think that is why the pedagogy at IIM is very different. Please feel free to ask any questions, any queries you have, and post your comments in the comment section. I'll just like to hi Taram, hi Nikita, hi Ditya. We have a question from Jivesh. He's asking, sir, best book bata do. Best book for what, Jivesh? Till the time Jivesh posts his question in detail, I'll now like to move on to what the academic structure is in the second year. And that's the most interesting part here because, as a student at IIM Ahmedabad, you'll get to choose courses basis your passion and interest entirely in the second year. There's only one course which is strategy capstone, which is compulsory for all in the fourth term, which is the first term of the second year. Otherwise, all of the second year is entirely elective driven. So the whole beauty is that you get to choose subjects basis not only your interests but also basis the uniqueness of them. So you have a lot of courses on big data, Bitcoin, and since the curriculum is regularly updated, so you can attend courses which are niche in their own way, and that is what I liked the most in the second year. And you have courses from key academic departments at Ahmedabad, from agribusiness management, from entrepreneurship, from educational space, from business policy environment, from communication, economics, finance and accounting, human resource management, information behavior, then marketing as well, then quantitative methods, then public systems group is another department responsible for public policy. Then you also have courses on niche courses on big Bitcoin, big data. There's also a course on media and ethics. So in the second year you are offered a broad range of subjects which have which I think you might not have studied before. So that is how you can pursue your passions and explore newer dimensions in the second year. And I'd also like to talk about some of the popular courses which are most sought after in the second year. So actually what happens is in the second year you have the liberty to choose your own courses, but there's a specific bidding system which is follow points in your kitty, and there's an online bidding process for the courses. So the higher you bid, the better your chances of getting that course. So that is how the process works. So there's no sure shot surety that you'll get one of those popular demanded course, but yes, people do strategically make the decisions and take on those courses. But some of the most popular courses which in high in demand and which attract high bid points from students, some of them also based on my personal preferences and might not be, many of them are majorly pursued by the batch. I like to take at least 3 to 4 courses here which are most sought for the successive batches. First is LVMR, which is Leadership, Vision, Mission, Reality, and this course dwells on novel reading kind of a coursework wherein given various novels to read, and which teach you about leadership, how those leaders had a vision, mission, and acted all. So that's a very interactive, very engaging course, and the concept is totally different. I mean, can you just imagine that you are just reading novels in a course and trying to grasp things there? So that's the uniqueness of this course. Then second course, which is very popular, is Shodh Yatra. In this course, this attracts a very high bracket of bid points from students, and in this course is usually off campus, and students are taken to remote locations in India, like maybe northeast or maybe some village in northern part of India or maybe in Gujarat, anywhere. And the idea of the course is to help people at grassroots levels in any of the cause which is pertinently pressing them. So maybe in the field of education, maybe setting up a small library for a small group of students in a village. So that's the whole idea, and it's very engaging, very practical in a sense. Then the third course, which is most sought after, is ERI, which is exploration. It's also usually an off-campus course where maybe kind of a hotel or a resort, and everyone sits in together, shares about the life experiences and any innovations they have, etc. And everything in this course is confidential. So whenever you're discussing anything, since they're very personal and private, all the participants of the course, have to keep all those discussions confidential. And this course helps you explore and come out of your inner inhibitions and explore a newer self. Then a course which I personally attended was Inner Theatre and Encounter with Self. This is also another very popular course, and this is on-campus course. And this course was, kind of uh, finding a new me. Actually, I would say, because the whole set of exercises which the professor had, and in-depth, knowing about. So the whole beauty of the course was that it was not based on any case study. There were various personality tests. There were various exercises, practical exercises such as maybe uh, having a kind of a balloon race, or maybe making a chart to which you relate to, etc. So sad, and in the end of it, you realize how can you overcome them, etc. So this was also another very beautiful course which personally I got to attend. Then another famous course there at the Ahmedabad, strategy, systems, and what you get to learn about, you know, corporate organizations and how they can strategize, and what are the kind of systems they have, and what are the kind of bottlenecks they face. It's another very beautiful course. And then you also have courses on HRM, on ethics, philosophy. There's another beautiful course in Bhagavad Gita. So how do you from Bhagavad Gita? So imagine the variety of courses you offered. Then of course you have courses on finance and economics, wherein you have courses on behavioral economics, and you also have courses on fixed income securities, which is a part of kind of finance. Then there's a lot of focus also on entrepreneurship, and specifically catering to this, there's a course called NTA BDM, which is New Technology Application Design and Business Models. And this course is specifically on entrepreneurship, and how you can ideate, design, and apply your business model in a practical life. And then there's also a course called as Innovation Live, wherein you get a chance to directly work with a startup. So this is the length and breadth of courses, and these are just a gist of them which I mentioned here, basis their popularity. But you can refer to IIM Ahmedabad's website for in-depth courses which are offered from diverse academic departments. That's openly mentioned on IIM Ahmedabad's website as well. And also, I would like to mention here that you also have this liberty to choose courses from other academic programs at IIM Ahmedabad. So you can you can choose, if someone is interested in maybe pursuing a PhD after MBA, and you are not sure whether you really want to go for it or not. Then you have this option from the PhD program and sit with the PhD students in their class and interact with them. So that's the whole beauty. And then you also can choose a course from their, the 1 year MBA program at Ahmedabad, which is the PGPX program. And you can sit with more experienced people, since the PGP students with a lot of work experience. So, you can sit with them and attend their courses as well. So that's the whole beauty. And I personally chose courses from these two fields as just of how is it to attend the other programs and learning from my peers as well. And also this helps you build networks and get better networking, since you'll not be only limited to your batch in the PGP but also be knowing people in the PGPX and PhD program. So that also really helps. So these are some of the most popular courses which I sought, and this is how the academic coursework at Ahmedabad works, wherein first year is entirely compulsory, entirely 99% elective driven. So, yeah, I'll take up some questions now. We have a question by Garima. Yeah, so Garima is asking, can you mention some of the novels for LVMR? Yeah, Garima, we had some novels. I'm just for, I'll just try to recollect. So, there was a novel with the character named Don Quixote. That was a very famous one, which we had. Then there were a couple of 2 to 3 novels. Also, I think I'll need to recollect them. I'm just forgetting them now because since there were a bunch of novels which we studied in a very short span of time. But definitely, I think try answering, and I'll get back to you. Then we have. She's asking the MBA worth since she does not want to do a corporate job. Mansi, I think you need to assess why do we want to go for an MBA. I mean, there were students in my batch who did not go for an MBA, like did not go for a corporate job and still completed their MBA and are doing successfully well in their life now. So I think an MBA should not be your sole reason going for a corporate job. Actually, I would say. I mean, I think what an MBA helps you in is gaining knowledge across sectors, building, being a part of a network which is very close knit and which will help you later on when you go for an entrepreneurial, venture, etc. And then you also get to be a part of a ecosystem which is very conducive and competitive and very supportive in a sense. And this I'm talking especially from the perspective of a tier one or premier B school. And I think even if corporate job is not your aim, I think I would want to know what is your aim basically if you want to go for an MBA. I think then I would be better able to answer whether an MBA is worth it or not, because you need to first assess why are you even considering an MBA. If you not do not want to go for a corporate job, and I mind you, I'm telling you, an MBA is just not going for a corporate job. You can do multiple things after an MBA as well. So, there's a notion that, after an MBA, the whole process, the whole ecosystem is placement driven. That might be true for many of them, but, usually people have their own set of reasons, for going for that job or maybe pursuing their MBA. So you need to deep dive into your conscious and subconscious mind and assess why do you want it. Then Abhinav is asking, sir, I have not done graduation very well. Okay, can I prepare for CAT? So, Abhinav, what I understand from the question maybe is that you are saying that your graduation score is not very well. You know, so if that is the case, you can definitely prepare for CAT, and you should focus on exam and your interview preparation, because whatever is past is past. Now, what you can do is focus on your future. And since as I've deep dived into the selection criteria of IIMs in my previous video, it's a very holistic process which they follow. So, you have scoring criteria, weightage criteria on 10th, 12th, undergrad, bachelor's. Even if you are kind of a bit low in one area, if you are able to compensate in other areas, then I think that should not be a problem for you. So I think you should definitely prepare for CAT. Okay. Then we have a question from uh, an account with no name. He or she is asking that does taking a year off affect the admission chances in any good B school? What extracurricular activity should I do in my year drop to improve my profile? Should I join a job? What should I do? Okay. And currently he or she is preparing for CAT. See, I think I like to answer this question in two steps. First step, I'll take the question whether taking a year off affects the admission chances in a good B school or not. So I have had batchmates who had a year break in between and still were able to make it. I think the point is that you need to justify properly why did you take that year gap and what was the reasoning behind it. I think that is very essential here. First, second, when you're justifying all this, you should be very authentic in your answers because you're in front of interviewers who are expert in their fields and can sense within seconds that you're lying. So that's very important. To be able to justify why that year gap was there. Was there some exigency in your family, or was there any problem you had, or anything? So those should be reasonable justifications which you should have, and I think then it will not be a problem for you to appear for any interview for any good B school. Second is, what extracurricular activity should I do in my year drop to improve my profile? Should I join any job? What should I do? I think if you've taken a year gap just for the sake of just preparation for CAT, I think that I'll not advise because that affects and reflects very negatively during an interview. I would definitely recommend you to take up a job because that will not only add to your work experience but also give you practical knowledge as to how a corporate job functions. Because I think that is very essential to know because during an MBA you will be better able to apply concepts in relation to your job which you would have done before joining the program, and also the job will help you get that work experience which for certain recruiters you might become the preferred candidate during placements. So as I've talked before in my previous sessions as well, at campus one who prefers freshers, second who prefers, third set who is indifferent to any of the things. So it just opens more plethora of opportunities for you if you have work experience. So that should be a strategy, I think, and ideally just is not advisable at all. Yeah. Then we have a question by Garima. Now, Garima is saying, as her aim is to work in the education sector and start my organization working in the development sector, if I can read about these courses on our own. Okay, Garima has retracted the message, so maybe she doesn't want to take that up. No problem, Garima. If you still have any question, please feel free to post it. I'll take up the next question. We have a question by Mansi. She's saying, I'm considering MBA for education since I'm not clear about goal. Okay. See, Mansi, I think I think even if you're not clear about your goal, I think it are not clear about our goals in life. That's okay. But then I think you should be clear why you're considering an MBA. Because there's a lot of time which you'll be putting in, not only for the preparation, but also second, there's a huge monetary cost involved as well. So even if you're not clear about your goal, you need to have still a bit of clarity. Considering MBA help you? Will it help you in the long run? I mean, it's okay to not have clarity about a goal, but at least some understanding should be there. So you need to reflect properly and then commit yourself for preparation for an MBA because there are huge time costs and monetary costs involved, and this time will not come back, mind you. So you should be very careful while choosing this. I would. Then hi Rianshi. Okay, so next we have a question from Aman. He's asking what percentile is required for PhD at IIM-A. So Aman, usually what happens is IIM-A for the PhD program takes students from two areas on their website as well. If any student is a pass out of any IIM from the flagship PGP programs, then they can directly apply for a PhD. irrespective of without giving any CAT, etc. And basis their evaluation and interview, people who have not done MBA and who are appearing and who want to go for a PhD, show their GRE scores or the GMAT scores. If I'm not wrong, you can still refer to their website and for them, etc. So you can still refer to their website and for them, etc. So if you are a graduate from a premier business of a 2-year MBA, then you can directly apply for their PhD, and you'll have to go to the interview process. You'll not have to submit any entrance exam score in that case. And I think percentile requirement, that depends from the depends on the interview panel and the kind of competition you have. So that's very case to case basis. Then Mehek is asking, sir, please tell me about agri management in B schools. So yes, Mehek, IIM Ahmedabad specifically has so the flagship PGP program is different, and then there's a PGP in agribusiness management, which is again a 2-year program, and that's specifically for agribusiness management. So what happens is that in the first year, the PGP students and the PGP in they jointly attend all the classes because they have to attend all the core courses. But in the second year, everything is elective driven. So that is when the PGP students and PGP FABM students get separated, and they are given courses. All their departments, etc., run separately. So if I were to say the PGP FABM, which is Food and Agribusiness Management course at IIM Ahmedabad, that has its own separate admissions office, separate placement committee, separate internship committees, everything is separate. And for the flagship PGP program, the admissions office, the placement committee, etc., is separate. The only commonality here is that in the first year, students from both the courses attend the compulsory courses together. And the batch strength of the flagship PGP program is approximately 400 students. And of PGP Food and Agribusiness Management, that's ranges from 40 to 50 students per year, depending on the applicants, etc. So that's about it. For the agribusiness management courses in B schools, and they have a strong focus on, as the name suggests, it's the food and agribusiness management. So similar types of companies come for placement, and you are offered courses in the food and agribusiness domain only. So that's the kind of trajectory you have in those courses. So Aman is asking what score in CAT is required to get called from IIM-A for PhD course. Aman, there are no kind of cut-off percentiles mentioned on IIM Ahmedabad's website for the PhD program. I think that's that we'll need to look in detail on the website, or you can maybe call up the admissions office, the PhD admissions office, and ask them. But we don't have much clarity on what's the cutoff percentile or CAT percentile requirement. But I hope IIM Ahmedabad's PhD program, which is the most sought after in India, so that should be good. I think, but also you need to understand here that for the PhD course, what really matters is the kind of research you've done before doing that program. You need to have certain research papers published, and because you might have also looked up at PhD courses abroad, and before applying to any PhD program in a US B school or in a European B school, you need to have shown at least some level of understanding regarding the kind of topic you want to research on, and the area of topic you want to research on, and the area of expertise you want to enter in. So that also will be required here. So CAT percentile will not only be the sole criteria for your judgment. Then next we have a question from Rishika. She's asking, how do IIMs view candidates who have a drop year to prepare for the exam? Rishika, see, I think taken up similar question before also. If your drop year was only for the sake of preparing for CAT, then I think definitely it will be a very negative reflection of you. Some issue which you had in your life, and then that you'll have to justify and help the interviewers understand your perspective. So that's it. But I've had people in my batch who had come with a gap year, and they were doing well and are doing currently well in their life. So I think that should not be a major problem, given that your reason was genuine. Then we have a question by that anonymous account. He or she is asking, how much work experience should I do? I'm a BBA graduate. See, I would say that since IIM Ahmedabad's flagship PGP program has a mix of freshers and people with work experience, I would suggest that the earlier you are able to aim for the PGP program, the better it is. I think